That is definitely my cue. Good evening, everyone. Oh, better mute that. That was a bit echoey as hell. Good evening. Hopefully you're all having a good Saturday evening. It is the 20th of March 2021. Still getting used to that 2021 thing. I'll get used to it eventually, I hope. Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews now too. Kath's over there on the chat, so if you've got any messages for me, and if I completely ignore everything you're saying in the chat box, then just do @CathChurchill or @Mike's Unboxing, and yeah, your message will be highlighted. Or alternately, if you want to be really, really flash, then obviously you can do a super chat, and that will definitely get my attention. We've gone back from the LED strip which we had around the desk, which was our super chat notifications warning Batman sign, and we've gone back to the disco ball. So yeah, long boring story, but essentially I was using my my wireless microphone, did an absolute ton of videos with the wireless mic, and because the strip is kind of here, for some reason it was just picking up on the mic pack, and there was an awful hissing. So I spent, I think it was Tuesday, was it Wednesday? Probably Wednesday, most of Wednesday, some of Thursday filming, and basically everything come out like utter shite. Oh, by the way, for those of you that are under 16 or under 18 or whatever, there may potentially be profanities used in this stream, and also there may be the occasional mention of alcohol and those kinds of adult topics. So if you're not down with those, then go away. Do one. This isn't for you. This isn't for kids. It's for grown adults, or at least people who are over the age of 18 and are officially adults, but probably still act like kids, like I do. And to start off, we've got both Ugly Bob and Outlaw Fett both hitting the super chat disco ball. Bob says, the disco ball is back, does it work? Hell yes, it certainly does. And Outlaw Fett's give us 79 pence as well. God bless you, Mary Poppins. Thank you very much for the super chats, appreciate that. Yeah, John Sullivan, disclaimer, not safe for work. Potentially this is not safe for work, so yeah, there may well be cuss words used, especially bearing in mind some of the parts that are potentially going into the new build I'll be doing this coming week. So essentially, for those of you who are not been here before, don't know what the hell's going on, much like myself and probably most of you watching, normally on a Friday, I kind of scramble around like a lunatic looking for something to do for the week ahead. And I was looking around at the bits and pieces that I've got. I was really fortunate that our good friends over at Tecware sent us over the Tecware Nexus M. Have a look then, see what it was. They sent that case over, a micro ATX case. It's a budget case, no real frills to it, and essentially it is almost a clone of the CIT flash which we did last week. Don't forget the every time I say flash. So we've got that, and it was like, right, what am I going to do with this? Because it's a budget case. It doesn't look overly fabulous, but it has got some nice features. So I didn't want to put something in there which was absolute poop. And being that you can't really buy much in terms of anything which is less than £1,000 graphics card wise, or a couple of £100 CPU wise, it was kind of like, right, we're going to have to hit the ground running with some bargain basement parts. So that is essentially what we'll be doing. The live build will be either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I'm not too sure which day. But if you're subscribed, which I suggest you do, hit that subscribe button and also do the chime and say you want to see all notifications. Otherwise, you'll never know when there's a new video. And that's a real shame for me. And the bank balance. If you do want to have an alternative way of accessing Mike's Unboxing content, well, there's actually two ways. One of which you can become a member on Patreon. Yep. You get early access. I'm shilling. You do get early access to videos as well there. You can join some of our other lovely patrons, such as we've got Ugly Bob, ClickTech Kev, Welsh Tony, Skystalker. Yeah, that's some of the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, Trojan. There's a whole group of you which are helping support the channel, so we do give you many blessings. Thank you very much. But alternatively, if you want to see us on another platform, we're actually on Odyssey as well now. So if you perhaps have got a thing against YouTube, which you've probably watching this, so you maybe haven't, but if you do want an alternative way of accessing the channel, then you can see all of our videos on Odyssey. So we are proudly over on Odyssey now. So if YouTube for some reason goes completely tits up, in the coming months, weeks, years, or whatever, we've got a backup plan, and it is Odyssey. And for those of you that haven't used Odyssey before, it's actually pretty decent. It's not quite as polished as YouTube, but it certainly gets the job done. And when YouTube's got that kind of buffer and stuff, because so many people are hammering it, then Odyssey generally is a pretty decent place to be. So there is that. So yeah, if you want to join us on Odyssey, please feel free to do so. Actually getting quite a few views over there already, so that's quite nice. And again, you can see most of our back catalogue, and any current releases will be distributed on both platforms. Well, technically all 3 platforms, but yeah, anyway, you get what I mean. So anyway, let's get past all the self-promotion. I don't know about you guys, but today has been a really warm day. It's like really muggy in here today. Actually sweating. Kath is like semi-naked over there, which is very distracting. But fortunately, I do have somewhere now to hang my Q-Link pendant when I'm not wearing it. So, who of you are in the chat this evening? So we've got Outlaw Fett, Ugly Bob, Dom's in the house, Sky Stalker. Sky Stalker says, I need a shower. I need a shower now after discussing what I was discussing.
Q-Link holders.
Yeah, Q-Link holders. Sir Soppy Balls is with us. Outlaw Fett, we said. Who else? I did close this window and reopen it, so half the chat's missing. I do apologise. Or actually, you should possibly notice that the stream quality might be slightly better. So if you're watching 1080p, it should be coming through a little bit nicer. We've had our actual broadband upgrade, which was waiting since, I think, was it June or July, Kath, last year?
I think it was July, wasn't it?
Virgin Media, who are our providers for better or worse. We've been with them absolutely donkey. It's literally like at least 20, probably even like 25 years or so. A heck of a long time we've been with them. And the package that we were on was pretty basic because we're trying to save money. So we're on the kind of lowest one. And the streams did suffer when we were doing uploads, especially when I plugged in a PC to do any Windows updates. It absolutely killed the stream. So we were supposed to get an upgrade last year. And I'll quickly take a look at that. Who's this? Oh, there's too much chat to scroll through now. That is from, no, that's Ugly Bob. We've seen that one. ClickTech Kev, 299 says quality looks great tonight. Oh, that's really good to hear. So, oh, that's really good to know. Yeah, hopefully it's doing well. So we've gone from a relatively lowly, well, we're on fibre, so it's always been fibre since pretty much day one here. But we were always on like the 100 megabit connection, which had like a 10 megabit upload if you're lucky. And through a little bit of wangling and kind of speaking to the technical support people and saying, look, come on, you promised us this upgrade back in June. What the F is going on? Like, we've been paying for this service, which we've not had. So we should have had double. So we should have had 200 megabit with a 20 megabit upload. But due to me complaining a little bit, they've actually put us on the 350 megabit, and we've now got 385 megabits download, and we've got about 37, 38 megabits upload. So the upload quality is far, far superior. So we should be able to do Windows updates and that kind of stuff without any issues. Yeah, in theory, everything should be great. Now, I am going to go slightly off track. I know I should be discussing what the title of the video is, but to hell with that, it's my show, I'll do what I bloody like. Today we've obviously had the upgrade, and yesterday, well, officially it happened yesterday, but today technically is the first day. So yesterday we had the upgrade and the uploads were great, like 37 megabits, fantastic, absolutely brilliant, much, much better. But for some reason I'm still getting kind of 60, 70, maybe 80 megabits download.
User error.
And yeah, user error. I didn't think it would be something quite as simple as what it actually was. So luckily Matthew Day, who's in our chat hopefully with us, if he's possibly having his baked potato and pizza, he's a bit of an expert on the kind of upstream and downstream things of TeleWest modems, so Virgin Media I should say, sorry. So I looked at the stats and, you know, yeah, and checked out the stats and everything looked okay, although the signal was a little bit hot. So we put a reducer on there to bring the signal more in line with what it should be, which did boost it about 10 megabits on the download. But still we seem to be capping out around about that 80 megabits. So rebooted the router, as you do, rebooted the tender mesh system, which I was thinking, those bastards, if they've given me a bloody mesh system which doesn't support decent broadband speeds, I will be furious. Doesn't seem that was the case, so I went through, but I did connect up my laptop directly to the cable modem, and almost instantaneously we're getting 380 megabits per second. So I'm thinking, well, what the F is going on? It's got to be either my gigabit switch, which it shouldn't be because gigabit is far exceeding what our broadband can do. It could have been the tender mesh because that's got gigabit ports on it as well. Could have been something to do with my NAS, which is also plugged into the system. So basically I went through it all today, and long story short, it turned out to be one single cable. Just one single cable. And it was completely my fault. For those of you that don't know, Ethernet cables are wired in twisted pairs. So 4 pairs, meaning 8 connections. Now years and years ago, when the internet was rubbish, or you had low powered devices, they would quite often split a cable. So you could have one cable would feed 2 ports. By splitting the 4s, 2 lots of 4, splitting the 8. But you'd only get 10-100, which effectively limited you to kind of, 100 megabit transfers, which was roughly what I was getting. You'd have thought that in my technologically primitive mind, I would have kind of figured that out. But it didn't take long until I took the cables out, took them out, and I looked at it and was like, in fairness, it did have the anti-snag cable covers on there, so I couldn't see all of it. So I do have that as a kind of...
and you're old.
Yeah, and my eyesight isn't great and I am getting old, so yeah. I've got those things in my favour. But basically it turned out to be, one of the cables I used was one, I think it must have been from one of the IMU webcams, the security cameras which we reviewed, and they don't need a lot of bandwidth. They just need basically power going to them. So I'm pretty sure it was from one of those devices that I'd actually used to connect my cable modem to the tender mesh unit. And I actually used another one of those cables to connect the tender mesh to the switch. Yes, Kath?
They're Teotronics now.
Teotronics, sorry. What was I saying?
Tender mesh.
Tender, yeah. Ignore that. It wasn't tender, it was Teotronics. Thank you, Kath. So, yeah, Teotronics. So, first thing I would like to say is to Teotronics, your mesh routers are bloody excellent. Now that I've got the full speed coming through the system, man, those things are awesome. They really, really are. Now, I said they were good in the review, and I meant it, but now with the upgrade, I mean it even more. So if you are looking for a mesh system for your home, they are fantastic, and we're getting some absolutely killer speeds. Now, actually, I was thinking I could do it on here now to show you the speeds, but then that would show my IP address, which is probably a bad thing. So potentially we won't do that, because I don't want to get some DDoS attacks. That would not be good. So anyway, long story short, it's fixed now. We've got some absolutely stellar internet speeds. Hopefully the quality of the streams is going to be better. The content clearly won't be, because it's still going to be me blithering on like some old fool. But hopefully the quality should be better. And actually at the moment, have we dropped any frames at all? No, we haven't dropped a single frame. We're currently streaming at round about 5,000 kilobits per second. So we could actually bump up a bit. I don't know if it's actually going to make any difference, but what the hell, let's try it.
Speed test and just share the pic doesn't have your IP on the share pic.
Alright, okay. Let's that's a good idea actually. Right, output, we're on 5,000. So let's bump that up to, God, I wish I could see that from here. Let's try 7,000 kilobits per second. Actually, what the hell, let's go for 8. Actually, we've got tons of bandwidth, so let's just knock it out. Knock it out of the park. And you'll be able to see the spots on my butt for that. You probably don't want to see that, to be fair. 10,000 kilobits per second, let's try that. So apply, and see if it destroys my laptop or destroys the connection. And I don't know. So now that is, 10,000 kilobits per second. Does it look any better? Can you see any difference? If you select 1080p on your streams, does it look any better? I don't know. I would hope it would, because it's costing me like 55 quid a month. So, well, technically it's not, because I'm claiming most of it for tax, but anyway, you get the idea. Ugly Bob says, no, we can still see you. Bastard. So we've got Welly Bob with us as well tonight. We've got Raymond, Click Tev, obviously.
What? Who? What did you just call him?
Raymond.
No.
Click Kev.
Yeah, but you said it so weird.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Freddie is here as well. Biohazard. Who else have we got? Martin Lowe's. Something missing. Just looking at a beer can. This is very true. I've got a cup of tea to finish. I'll get that down and then we'll kick on with that. Ricardo's with us as well. And Mark Berry. Spencer's with us. Mark MC. Yeah, it's good to see some of the usuals. Chloe Grice says, at Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, ever thought of doing a rate my PC video? I did consider it. I actually did consider it, but it's actually quite a difficult thing to do, especially if you're a technological numpty like myself. But certainly I wouldn't mind doing that. I would like to do a collaboration at some point with another streamer or YouTuber. So if there's anybody out there watching, you've got a channel and you fancy doing some collaboration and you actually know how to set all that up, then call me and we'll sort something out.
Ugly Bobs.
Ugly Bobs, Ugly Bobs. Ugly Bob. Ugly Bob says, my goddaughter's mouse turned up yesterday. The one with the screen on, she loves it. Yes, Bob has actually sent us another gift-et. And actually, while we think about it, we will be doing the giveaway for the Amtech Prism fans a little bit later on in the stream. What time is it now? So it's 21:23 on my clock. So let's give you 7 minutes. So if you guys want to get involved, head over to the Discord, go into the giveaway section, look for the Prism giveaways, and all you need to do is just click on the reaction button, and that will add you into the draw. And round about past, we will kick off, and one of you lovely, lovely people will be winning that set of fans. And hopefully you're not in a foreign country where it costs me an absolute ton of money to ship the damn things.
Also,
so preferably if you're outside of UK.
Do you want to say how to enter Discord with a clicky emoticon?
Oh yes, yeah. If you're new and you've not used Discord before, to actually get into the Discord, so you can go to the Discord just by clicking on the link, which Kath is going to post very shortly.
Done.
But you will need to go there and agree to the rules. So go to the rules room, click on the reaction. That will give you access to the rest of the server. I think actually saying that the giveaway section and possibly the video links are available to everyone. It's just the rest of the chat group is not available until you agree to abide by the rules. ClickTech Kev says, did someone say collab? Certainly did. Kev, if you want to do that, we will certainly work on that. I would love to do a collab with Kev. Kev is funny as shit. He really is. Not in a good way. Kev is genuinely hilarious. When we've played Quiplash, I have literally almost had a little pee in my pants where I've been laughing so hard. Genuinely. So yeah, if you guys want to see me and Kev do some sort of collab, then let us know and we'll make it so. Dutch Jan says, oh, thanks, Mike. What for? What did I do? Ricardo says, hoping to win this time. Well, got to be in it to win it. Fred Brown says, Bob is your uncle? He's not. Well, he's technically my son's uncle. Not that Bob. My brother Bob. Well, Robert. But I might call him Bob just to piss him off. He'll probably appreciate that. Glenn's with us and says, yeah, at ClickTef, he's looking for some guy called Tiklev Tech. John says, do you need a mobile to set up a Discord account? Unfortunately, you do need some means of authenticating yourself. Yeah, there. Way Bob says, your audio mic, turn the gain down a tad. I don't know what's going on with this mic. It's I've turned the gain on the camera right down, but I will do that. Let's take it down a notch if I'm way too loud. There we go. Is that any better? Domas says, I'm playing to win. Excellent. Does shipping to London cost a lot? No, I don't think. London's fine. London is absolutely fine. James says, I'm here, horrible day, I'll explain later. Oh dear. Taylor says, been enjoying the fun on the Discord recently. Good to hear it. The Discord is brilliant. I would say that because obviously it's kind of got my name all over it, but it's not anything really to do with me. It's to do with you guys that are actually members of the Discord and in the community, chatting to each other. To be honest with you, this last year, kind of at the moment, we are marking the year anniversary of the thing, which you cannot say on YouTube these days. And I don't think I would have been able to get through a lot of it without probably 3 things. One of which is CAF, the second one is my Q-Link, and the third one is you guys in the Discord. And obviously in the YouTube comment section, although those of you that aren't being dicks, but the ones of you that are really nice and appreciative of the videos, it's, yeah, the combination of those 3 is all that's got me through this last year, and yeah, long may it continue. Raceliner says, hi Mike, I always enjoy your videos. Oh, that's really nice to hear. Sorry, I've got to... Yeah, Taylor says the bargain section is great. The bargain section is amazing. Now, I should mention, Kath just said his name already, but Seam at Night is an absolute gem. He works like an absolute ninja, getting all these deals from all these sites. Some of the stuff, I don't even know where he gets it from, literally don't. Although, sadly today, he has forced me to spend money that I didn't want to spend on a new motherboard. So I've got an MSI Unify B550 coming sometime next week to upgrade my video editing rig. So if you guys want to see how I update my video editing rig, then I'll probably do a stream on that, because that is going to be pretty heavy going, because there's a lot going on in that rig. It's going to be a nightmare. But we'll certainly try and do it and see how it goes. Dom says, oh, I'm getting emotional. Whitey Bob says, still too much top end. Okay, sorry about that. Cosmic Space Muffin has given us 50 Norwegian Coronas and said, here you go, mate, this will pay for the shipping for those fans. It doesn't work like that. You can't, it's not pay to play or pay to win. Well, I suppose it could be. Actually, tell you what, if you send me £39.99 UK pounds, I will send one of those directly to you via Amazon. Or alternatively, you can click on the affiliate link and you can get them the same way. Ugly Bob says he is a tech ninja. Yeah, fair shout. Seam at Night, yeah, does an absolutely stellar job. He really, really does. Some of the bargains that we come up with are amazing. The motherboard today, MSI Unify B550, normally retails anywhere between 220 and probably the lowest I've seen is around about 180, 190. Absolutely amazing board, reduced down to £120. And at that price, I couldn't not buy it. I had to buy it. That is an insane amount of money. So yeah, that'll be coming in soon. Glenn says Unify X. No, not the X. The X version is weird. I'm not sure what the deal is with the X version. It's like got 2 RAM slots or something, which is kind of odd. I don't understand that. Maybe I looked at the picture very quickly and it didn't kind of make a whole lot of sense, but certainly seemed to be. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be seeing that coming soon. Nadim says, sorry, I'm going to say Nadim because the first part of your name I'm going to probably struggle to pronounce properly. Properly. Both of those things. So yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. 90 on live, but 30 likes. Come on, guys. Exactly. You don't have to. It's absolutely fine. Ricardo says my tough H470 motherboard does God, struggling with words already. Doesn't have an official BIOS update for 11th gen. There is some weird stuff going on with Intel. There really is. The release date we don't officially know as such yet, but I think most people are kind of aiming for probably mid-April. I think that's most likely. Wow, 120, that is a bargain. It is absolutely insane. The oh, Glenn says this a memory overclocking board with insane VRM, that is it. Okay. Oh, 2 RAM slots for better overclocking, of course, because it's dual channel. I understand. Got it. That does make sense then. Seems like a backward step for most kind of normal users or most normal case scenarios, but for overclocking, I guess that makes total sense. John Sullivan says I clicked it twice. Right, got it. Paul Bourbon says you need to look at the ASRock B460M Pro 4. Only problem is the DDR4 2666 limits on the i5, but do like it. That was one of my early kind of inclinations when I went for the B460M mortar. There's the B460 chipset is a really odd one because it's so kind of neutered in comparison with the B450 and B550 chipsets from AMD. It really is like a poor show. Intel could make an absolute killing, especially seeing as they've actually got CPUs available at the moment. If they just allowed overclocking on the lower end chipsets, both for frequency in the chips themselves, frontside bus or PCI clock, whatever it is now, and also RAM, they'd be onto an absolute winner and they would kill the competition, but they refuse to do it. Biohazard says, anyone seen the Tai Chi from ASRock with the motorized gear on it? Yeah, that is a little bit insane, isn't it? It really is. Right, so let's get on with what some of you possibly have come here to see. Oh, Skystalker says, I wish Mr. Knight would take an interest in North America. We need some of those sweet, sweet UK deals that he finds.
Smashed potato.
Oh, yes. Smashed potato, when do you think GPU stock will come back to normal? I mentioned it in a previous stream, so forgive me those of you that have heard me say this already. I would say I'm relatively confident that it's going to be kind of June, July, August. Traditional slow time in the industry when most people are kind of thinking of holidays and that kind of stuff. The strain is generally off of the kind of overall marketing system at that time of the year. I think if there is going to be a time for catch up, and if the things we've been promised from the governments, etc., due to the thing, if that all gets a little bit better, or people can start moving around a little bit more, in factories are opening up, all that kind of stuff, people can go to work, then potentially I would say if it does kick in the next month or two, that would be a real kickstart. The real thing is going to be the shipping costs, because it's still costing an absolute ridiculous amount to ship stuff now. That is the real problem. The actual, I don't think stock is inherently the reason why we haven't got anything. There is stock there, and if you look at the pictures, you can see there's actually entire kind of football-sized pitches full of cartons waiting to be shipped out. But because it's so expensive to ship stuff at the moment, people are just saying, well, no, that's all right, just leave it there. I'm not paying, like, I think it's like £80,000 to ship a container, which previously would have cost maybe £8,000. So if you're having to pay £80,000 to ship your goods to a country, you're better off just keeping hold of it and selling it in your own country. It really is as simple as that. So I think that is what is going to be. We need those prices to come down for shipping for sure, because that is one of the biggest problems. I kind of blame solar panels as well because of the silicon used in there, but still, that's another story. Yeah, long story short, I think it's going to be. Probably June was probably a little bit early. July, more likely. August, I would say. Fingers crossed, we should be back to some kind of normal-ish stock-wise by August. I would hope. That's just me kind of winging it and looking around. I think a lot of people that I've watched videos on, or industry people, have all kind of hinted towards the same, saying, well, looking at the trajectories, looking what's going on, realistically, yeah, summertime is going to be the time when it starts to calm down a little bit. So, yes, that is what I think. Angel Churchill says, oh, I just realised I have Maisie this week. It's her week. Jan 2016 says, June, July, for some reason I really don't believe this. It's not 100%. It's really not 100%. It's just kind of...
Nothing's normal now.
Yeah. Anything which years ago we would have said, right, yeah, looking at previous markets, this is what is going to happen. All of that is completely out the window now. So essentially you can take kind of a year out of it and basically just close the book and basically you're starting again. So we don't know. We really don't know. Adam says, I've been through multi-year shortages in other hobbies. Stock will come back in brick and mortar stores first, then online in a few months. Yeah, I don't know whether online will... I think online will probably do okay. More so for us in the UK. In the States, particularly in Canada, where you've got things like Best Buy and Newegg and stuff like that, where they've actually got quite a lot of bricks and mortar stores, but they also have a big online presence. Whereas in the UK, we've got mostly kind of online stuff. So I think in the UK, predominantly, we'll find that stuff will be available online, and eventually it will trickle down to the bricks and mortar stores, which generally tend to be smaller independents. There's very few kind of chain stores really in the United Kingdom, other than probably PC World. There may be a couple of others that have got 1 or 2 retail presences, but most of them are kind of retail outlets on a warehouse of distribution, such as eBuyer, CCL, Novatech, AWD, IT. All of those kind of work in a similar position where they basically got a big warehouse, big containers come in, and they've got like a retail side outlet on that shop rather than a dedicated retail location. Man, I'm getting well into that. Map, I don't know how to pronounce that. I generally don't. There's an M logo, it says map, and there's a what is it, an H and a backwards N and a K. It says, hi Mikes, hi. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm really sorry. Is Newegg good in the UK? No. Newegg is awful in the UK because they put on loads of shipping prices and it's horrendous.
We don't have one here.
Astro Inferno says, can you test a 4750G on AliExpress against 3100 and 3010? The 4750, I've tried getting hold of a few things off AliExpress recently, and every single one has turned out to be a dud, and they've not been able to ship it. So I'm very hesitant to order anything from them. It takes ages to get a refund as well, like at least a month or so, or at least that is what I've been experiencing. That could have been because of Chinese New Year. There is that to it. So yeah, I don't know.
That was quite a while ago now.
Just a catapult says, my PC won't post, Miker. Well, luckily for you, we have a Discord where you can find out how to get it working. Okay, so that's probably the longest intro I've ever done. So let's take a look at...
Are we doing competition first?
Oh crap! Yeah, competition time, isn't it? So, Kath, can you please do the draw? And the winner is... You got to say it. Because if I say it, don't believe me. I'm a Bristolian. Well, you're Bristolian as well, but you're trustworthy, I'm not. Hold the line, caller. Spaghetti Agent H says, I got 32 gigs of RAM just to shut up my friend who kept bragging about his 16 gigs. Nice. Actually, RAM is starting to go up a little bit at the moment. It really is. Cosmic Space Muffin says 4750G are in stock here in Norway. J Rich says Mike wins. No. I actually deliberately took my entry out. Kath, you have her hand up.
Paul, don't you know?
Paul, don't you know, is the winner. So congratulations, Paul, don't you know. I think that's Paul Bakewell. I shouldn't have said that out loud, actually. I think that is. So, Paul, don't you know, on Discord, we will be sending you a message to say that you are the winner. I think that might be. I'm not too sure. Paul, don't you know? I think it could be. Anyway, congratulations, Paul, don't you know? Happy days. Paul Bakewell says, yes, it's me. Awesome. Paul, you do live in the UK, don't you? Please don't live in the UK. Save me some postage price. Angel Churchill says, what was the prize? Set of fans. As seen on the world slightly almost famous Mike's Unboxing review channel.
And tidy your bedroom.
And tidy your bedroom, Angel. God damn it. Cosmic Space Muffin says, that was rigged. It got stolen from me, damn it. Blame Kath. It's entirely down to Kath. It's her. She made the decision. She picked the name.
Blame Discord.
Yeah, blame Discord. Paul Boardman says, congrats, Paul. Great name. He lives in North Korea. That should be interesting. Just a catapult. How do you deal with hair loss? Well, I don't really. It's not a lot to deal with, is it? Just get the clippers out or the shaver. Done it. Job done. I can just get up and go now.
You have to sign the fans.
I have to sign the fans.
Sky says.
Right. So we'll get Kath to. Well, Paul, you'll have to send Kath your postal details, etc. And we'll get those sent out to you very quickly. Yeah, Mike, you have to sign the box. Okay. With a mud pen. I'll throw in a Mike's unboxing pen as well. If it'll fit in the package, it probably will. I've got to sign all 18 blades. Jesus. Now, actually, I suppose it's probably a good time now to mention there is going to be another giveaway probably next week. I haven't done the review yet, but potentially there will be another giveaway next week. So for those of you that lost out, you haven't, because you're all winners in my eyes. That's such a cliche. But yes, there's going to be more giveaways. It's getting to that time of year again where we've got loads of stuff here. I've got to get rid of some stuff, so we'll be doing some periodic giveaways. So stay tuned for those. Tony says, my 1030 Zotac fan is so loud, sadly. Take it off. 1030 doesn't need a fan, really. It really doesn't.
Angel finds that hilarious.
Finds what?
How do you deal with hair loss?
Dom says, maybe the MSI Unify motherboard. Well, that would be nice. Oh God, Cosmic Space Muffin's going to pillage our village again. Again. Like his people did years and years ago. Bloody Vikings. Anyway, right, moving on. So, the dilemma that we've got for this build. So actually, I suppose I should... Actually, Kath, could you unravel that case? And have a quick look at the case. And we'll go through some of the parts. So essentially what I'm doing is I've got a Micro ATX build. So I'll move some of this stuff out of the way. Essentially what it comes down to is a Ryzen 3 3100 in conjunction with the MSI Geforce GT1030 or the Ryzen 5 3400G. Thank you.
Got it?
Yep. Thanks very much. So that is the kind of conundrum. Now the system is going to have the MSI B550 Pro VDH Wi-Fi. Now the reason behind that is because it is going to be essentially a budget system. So I really want everything to be as kind of self-contained and as flexible as it can possibly be, because I will be selling it on like Facebook Marketplace for essentially basically what it's cost me, probably a little bit less than me. That's what normally ends up happening. So I want everything to be there. So Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, PCI Express 4, NVMe slots, RGB if they want it, all that kind of stuff. But the real problem is the processor. Now, I was considering a Ryzen 5 3600, but then really you're going to need to put a decent graphics card with it in order for it to actually sell. Because people won't buy a Ryzen 5 3600 without a graphics card. Simple, it ain't going to happen. And you're certainly not going to get your money back on it. So I looked around, what have I got? Right, I've got a Ryzen 3 3100. That is a great start. I've also got the GT1030. Not so great, but definitely upgradable. I've also got the Ryzen 5 3400G, which has got built-in Vega 11 graphics, which is on par-ish, pretty much, with the GT1030, even though it is a dedicated card. The GT1030 isn't particularly fast. The Vega 11, also not particularly fast, but potentially is a very good option. Now, the Ryzen 5 3400G I bought as part of a bundle, excuse me, for £180. The motherboard I've actually sold, and I kind of worked that out as being about £50 worth of value. PC World here in the UK are actually offering up the Ryzen 5 3400G at £130. So that kind of gave me where I was looking at price-wise. Am I going to overclock? I will probably be overclocking both the GPU and the CPU if I go with the 3100 and the 1030. But likewise, potentially I could do the same with the 3400G. The 3400G actually is well known for overclocking quite well. And if you're using slightly faster RAM, you do get the benefits of that, etc, etc, etc. It does leave me in a very odd position, because I could essentially just sell the 3400G on its own, as is, without having to worry about supporting the system after it's sold, etc, and all that kind of stuff, and probably make a few quid, or definitely break even. The same possibly could be said for the 3100. The same can't be said for the GT1030. I think I paid around about £80 for that. I think they're currently going for slightly more, getting closer to 100. But people are less likely to buy it less likely to buy it second hand for that money when they can pay maybe £10, £15 more and get a brand new one. I think I'm pretty much on the money with that as far as my thinking goes with that. If I put it on Facebook Marketplace for £100, I'd get people saying, I'll give you 50. That always happens. Actually, let's go off track a bit. The PC that I sold this week, which was the CIT flash system with the 2200G, we built that in the stream about a week ago. And I priced it all up and I told you what I paid for it. I told you basically what it was worth. I did get some particular bargains on that one. So I ended up selling it. I'm just trying to look at the price. So yeah, my cost price versus selling price and what the retail price should be. I sold the whole system with a 24-inch monitor for £300, which I'm looking at the totals on the board now, and I'm looking at thinking, I was a fool. I really was a fool. The system itself was up for sale for £300 on its own. So essentially, I threw in a monitor with it, which is probably worth about 40, 50 quid. So effectively, I sold the system for 250, 260, which I think I don't think I've lost money. But I think I've come bloody close to it, which for all the hard work I put into it, it probably isn't worth it. I'm still looking at thinking there's definitely something wrong there. It's good karma. I'm gaining karma points for future lives. But yeah, that was based on the CPU being worth 40 quid. And I think a Ryzen 3 2200G for 40 quid, most people would snap your arm off. And the RAM I priced in as being like 25 quid for 16 gigs of RAM. So yeah, I definitely screwed up there, I think. But anyway, it's done, it's dusted, it's gone, and I can move on to the next project. So if you're looking for a bargain and you're in the local area, then this next one could be another one where I accidentally forget to price something in or just give stuff away. So case-wise, this is the Tecware Nexus M. So what we're going to be using to build in. The chassis-wise is basically the same as the CIT flash, but you've got a kind of, you can't really see it though. You've got a steel effect front panel. Oh, we lost some frames there, I think. No, we didn't. We're good. And tempered glass side panel with a complete surround, which is blacked out, which is all good. That's right. On the top, you've got some fan mountings. You've got a couple of USB 3s on there. You've got I think actually it's just dual USB 3 on there. Yeah, dual USB 3, no USB 2. Asshole. What? You did that on purpose. I didn't. Sorry, did they see Kath? You can't see that, you need to see the lights, you Wally. Oh, she's terrified of being seen. On the back, it's the usual deal. This does come with 3 fans included. They're not RGB, but there are 3 fans in there. So yeah, this retails for about 35 quid, which actually I don't think is too bad a price. Extra fiver, you could get the CIT flash. They do this version with a mesh front as well for an extra fiver, which probably in hindsight I would have probably preferred, but yeah, well, they sent it for review, so it's fine. Yes.
Glenn's off to have his food.
Oh, Glenn, enjoy your food. So yeah, this is the case. So yeah, it's not
What's that on the non-glass side panel?
on the non-glass side panel. Oh, that is the filter. So there is a full-length filter which goes inside underneath. So there's, I'll pull the front panel off if I can. So if I open that up, you can see there is, actually you can't see because I've turned all the lights off. So you can see just about there is 2 fans pre-installed in there. So you get 3 fans included with it. So the airflow is going to be fine. There's a mesh on the side and the filter basically can go in front if you want to for a little bit of extra filtration. I probably won't use it, just to let the air flow through. Yes, Kath? Monty. I can't see Monty. Monty, hi Mike, I'm selling a GT1030 on eBay. I've only used it for 3 months. It's in his original box with a manual if you're interested. I've actually got one of my own that I'm kind of in the same situation where I don't really need it and I'm trying to get rid of it myself. Depending on how much you want for it, there may well be... Welly Bob says audio is still clipping at the top. Is it? What is going on with this thing? It is actually a little bit high. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit. There we go. Is that any better? Yeah, it's picking up actually. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Kath, can you do me a favour? Can you unplug the microphone and plug it back in again, or just make sure it's plugged in?
Where's that glass?
I'll turn the glass around so you don't, so the good people don't see you. As you can see down the side there, we've got loads of ventilation slits, much like the fractals. There we go. Is that better? 1, 2.
It does look a bit peaky on here.
Does it look a bit peaky?
A bit in the red.
Is it? What did I set? I must have set the audio too high. I set it to -9. I can't get much lower than that. Oh well, such is life. Anyway, so that is the case. We'll be doing a unboxing and a review on that very shortly. Essentially, you've got support for a 240mm rad in the front if you want to. A couple of 120mm fans in the top, 120mm on the back is already included. There's 2 120s in the front already included. Their fans are dual purpose, so you've got Molex connectors if you've got a crap power supply or you've got a low end board and you don't have the option to plug in headers. You can just chop off the Molex connectors and use the 3-pin kind of PWM voltage style connections, which is absolutely fine. So with that, I'm very likely going to be putting in these. These are the Orbis F3 RGB fans. The only thing which might hinder that is the actual control box for this. There is a RGB output and PWM kind of input, all that kind of usual jazz. So I may well do that. I think that might lift the system a little bit. And then at least if somebody doesn't like the RGB, they can just turn it all off. Although not having a mesh front or an open front kind of negates the idea of having RGB, but it will look nice from the side. So for some people, that is the way they roll. So we'll be doing that. Fan wise, going to go with something tried and tested. So we'll be using the Freezer A13X, which I've chosen that primarily because white blades on the fan, which reflect the RGB from the fans in the front, just to give it a little splash of color in that center area. So that's going to look really nice. RAM wise, just going with the tried and tested route. So I kind of splashed out a little bit on this, probably shouldn't have done. This is the V-Color Prism Pro RGB. Main reason behind getting this stuff is it basically just works. I really do, I know they've sent me stuff in the past, but I actually paid for this on my own money. V-Color's RAM is good stuff. They use pretty much completely SK Hynix RAM chips. They custom sort them themselves. I have not had a single V-Color stick of RAM go bad or faulty or not do its rated XMP speeds immediately on boot up. So yeah, highly recommended. So if you want to get some out, get some. It isn't the cheapest. It certainly isn't the cheapest, but you do get lifetime warranty, etc., etc. And it's got a weird kind of chip thing on there. So it does what they call IMS, which is normally rated for server memory. So it's kind of like ECC, but without being ECC. So it's got kind of like built-in intelligent memory stability or something, I think they call it. Anyway, yeah, it's their own custom thing, which is built into every single module. So yeah, basically prevents crashing, and it certainly seems to. Power supply, going to go with the tried and tested, so the Cylon 500 watt, as always. There is a contender for this now from those of you that are in the UK. We've actually got the Zentia 500 watt from eBuyer. It's kind of like their own brand. I'm almost 100% sure that it's the same power supply, just rebadged. The fan top is different, so I could be wrong on that. And actually, we have got Aerocool have kind of come on board now, and they've actually said, Mike, would you like us to send you some stuff to review? So we jumped at that. We awesome. We do like their power supplies. They're nice, cheap and cheerful, and as of yet have not lit a PC on fire, which is awesome.
Bang.
Bang. Yeah. So we'll be seeing some more stuff from Aerocool in the very near future. Oh, this is great. The hard drive or SSD we're going to be using are these. So this is the Intenso M.2 SSD, 512 gigabytes, £35 in the UK. Now it's not NVMe, obviously, it's SATA, but an NVMe drive, sorry, a M.2 base drive, 512 gigs for 35 quid is pretty exceptional. It does have a cache on board, so there's DRAM cache, so it's not one of those crappy drives like the Western Digital Greens, which basically just fall over as soon as you start transferring stuff. Yes, Gaff?
Nick Brown said, how much was the RAM and does ECC, etc. matter?
The RAM, I think, was about £80. It does come with 2 extra sticks, which are non-DRAM, so they basically populate into 4 sticks.
What is it? We've got a video, haven't we?
Yeah, we did. No, we haven't done a video on these yet.
All right, okay.
We did on the silver. Excuse me. We did on the silver ones, but not these ones. Actually, yeah, we did a review on the silver ones. So if you want to see them out in more detail, there is a video on them. So it's the V-Color Prism Pro. But yeah, it's good stuff. The
Prism RGB Pro, yeah.
Prism RGB Pro, yeah, that's the one.
Not Prism.
Yeah, top one. That's him. Yeah, Kath will put a link in the chat now, so if you want to check out their stuff in more detail, you can do. I find it really good stuff. I've had nothing but issues with Corsair RAM, which I know people love Corsair RAM. I get it. I totally understand. But for me personally, with the amount of machines I'm swapping in stuff in and out all the time, I just want something which is going to work and not have me to spend my time and energy trying to diagnose, is it the CPU not working? Is it the RAM not working? Have I got a duff board? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd rather not mess around with that. So yeah, V-Color gets my my vote pretty much every time. Yeah, so back to the drive. This was an absolute bargain, £35 for a M.2. I'm waiting to see what you guys are saying in there.
Any recommendations for
No.
80 plus gold PSU?
Any recommend 80 watt plus gold PSU? Yes, I did see one. 80 plus gold. Where did I see that? It's in our, go into the bargain section on our Discord, and I'm sure Seatnight posted one maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and it seemed like a good price. I was going to buy it myself. So the Intenso drive, as you can see, no real frills or anything. It basically is, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to focus on that, but still.
Looks like it's back up to £50 for that M.2 now.
So that was on a special deal. We did post it in the Discord, in the bargain section. I didn't think it was going to be real. I figured for £35, they've got to be smoking something, or it's gone wrong. It should be the price for maybe the 250 or the 240 gig? Yeah, 240 or 256. And I thought, what the hell, I'll do it. And I was feeling a little bit greedy, so I actually bought 3 of them. Because at that kind of price, you can't not do it. M.2 drives, 512 gigs for 35 quid with a cache is mental. They've got 2-year warranty, so not brilliant warranty-wise, but not bad. Better than the year's warranty that you get with some of the things like TC Sunbow. You've got eco power, low noise, obviously, shock resistant, and smart command support, trim support, garbage collection, blah blah blah. SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second, read speeds up to 520 megabits per second, and writing at 500 megabits per second. So actually pretty decent specs. I'm yet to use one, which is why I'm actually excited to get this build done and see what it actually performs like. But yeah, I think those are brilliant. Absolutely fantastic value for money. I know that some of you other people on Discord possibly pick them up. It was a bit of a weird thing because you'd go to the site and you'd place the order, it would go into your basket but it wouldn't let you check out. This was on Amazon, so it was a little bit odd, but I think Seaman Knight got some, I got some, I think there was a couple of other guys that did as well. Jay says it's £50 now. Cosmic Space Mummy says, but I don't live in the UK, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ugly Bob says, for 35 quid, good find. The thing is, with those Intenso drives, they will go down to that again. They often do that. So what they'll do is they'll put them at the reduced price to get a little bit of traction, get their site pushed up the ranks on Amazon. Get them onto Mike's Unboxing, obviously. Then they'll put the price up a little bit, and then when the sales drop off again, they'll drop them again. So when these go down again, I will definitely let you guys and girls know. What's the other brand, the SSD ones? The SSDs, you've got TC Sunbow, they often do them as well. They do exactly the same thing, and a Tenzo as well, or sorry, a Sino. A Sino do that as well. A Sino and TC Sunbow, I believe, are the same company. Intenso, I'm not entirely sure of, so that is going to be something new for me to find out. So that is basically where we're at. So we've got this little budget system. So let's work out what the actual budget is, because none of you have asked yet, and I was waiting for it, but no one asked. So I'm going to have to do this. So if we go with the, first of all, with the, are you doing calculation or I'll do it?
Wait a minute, I can do it. I just
okay.
Put a link up.
I'll put a link up. So I'll reel off the prices and we'll work out roughly what this PC is going to cost. Which I'm thinking, if we go with the Ryzen 3 3100 and the graphics card, due to the fact that I got the 3400G quite cheaply, I would imagine both, it's got to be around about 400, maybe 450. If I base it on what I actually paid for it, it could be slightly more, but we'll find out very shortly. Potentially you could obviously take out things like the Arctic freezer, whether or not it's necessary or not, I don't know. Where the fans I probably won't include because that's kind of like an optional extra, but the main core components I think will definitely include, just to see what it comes out to. So case, first of all, Kath, is £35.
Yep.
The Intenso drive, £35. The Cylon 500 watt power supply is £27. The Ryzen 3 3100, I believe I paid £95 for that one. The MSI Aero ATX, I've got to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. I think it was £80 plus £10 postage, so I know they're a bit more expensive now, but let's say, for argument's sake, £80. Then we've got the motherboard. So the motherboard is the B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. I paid 110 for that, I believe. And the RAM, this was a difficult one because it translated from American dollars into pounds, so I think that was about 80, which you could probably get a better deal on, to be completely fair. So let's say 80. And what does that come out to?
462.
462. So I wasn't far off my higher amount. So that is if we go with that. So if we take out the so minus off, Flame, get down, god damn it.
Got it down.
So take off 95.
Yeah.
And take off 80. and then add on 130. And we'll have to add on the price for a cooler for that as well, because the 3400G didn't come with a cooler. So let's say add £20 for a cooler, a decent cooler.
Oh, it's gone all. Has that gone pear-shaped or not?
I think that looks about right. Yeah, so that takes it down to 437. So between the two, there's probably, what we're looking, about £30 difference between them overall. And I don't think there is a better option, really. It would have been nice if we could have got the 3300X for maybe £20 more. I think that would have probably sealed the deal and would have made me go in this general direction. Another thing to consider, I guess, as well, is what kind of outputs is the potential user going to be using. Now, ideally, it would be someone who's doing a little bit of kind of productivity work and gaming on the side, because this isn't a gaming PC, really. It really isn't. So the GT1030 has only got HDMI and HDMI. Sorry, DVI and HDMI. Whereas the motherboard, I think from memory, I think it's got a DisplayPort and HDMI. I could be completely wrong. Nope, it's actually got VGA, DisplayPort and HDMI. So potentially that could swing it for some people, being it's got those three options. I don't know. So basically that's where we're at. Match today says 10100 Intel. That was that would have been a consideration. Bill Taylor said, "Good day, everyone. Thank you, Mike and Kath, for these great shows." Must mean someone else.
Oh, Bill watches every day.
Bill does. Bill's actually commenting all the time. Oh God, what have I done now? Oh crap, what have I done now? Oh, I've broken the stream, possibly. Stream. Oh no, we're back. Oh, duplicate stream key. Damn it. Right, let's close that. Sorry. I am slightly simple. When I say slightly, I mean very. It's a good job I didn't have a tech channel. Oh, actually, talking of tech channels, what did you guys think of the video that I did yesterday about the scary icon on my desktop, which freaked me the hell out? Good old MSI up to their old tricks again, installing stuff on my system without me knowing about it. Absolute bastards. Where are we? Viewing control room, that's the one we wanted. There we go. Okay. Ugly Bob. Oh yes, just noticed that in the chat. For those of you that are into gaming and you like your gaming, we have now got up and running the Wreckfest server, the Mike's Unboxing Wreckfest server, kindly donated by Cosmic Space Monkey.
Put a link in. Shall I make him a moderator?
Yeah, make him a mod. That was an ass-clenching moment for Mike, it was. Yeah, Cosmic Space Muffin, fair play to him, has been absolutely brilliant, and he had some bits and pieces knocking around at home, so he's fired up a Wreckfest server. And all you need to do is basically go into Wreckfest, go into Internet Games, and just do a search for MUB, M-U-B. That's the Wreckfest server. And the password, if you want to gain access, is ASS. So capital A, then another A, SS. Yeah, little capitals. So capital A, little a, small s, small s. Let's repeat that again. Capital A, lowercase s, which is basically the brand of lager which Cosmic Space Muffin sends every now and then to his favourite English YouTuber. He likes other YouTubers as well, but English ones, I'm his favourite. So yes, if you want to play on that with us, you're more than welcome to. What we'll try and do at some point is get together and oh yeah, it is the Steam version of Wreckfest. So it is a Steam version. It isn't cross-compatible, so you do need to have the Steam version of Wreckfest installed to join the server. Let's make that clear. So that is, yeah.
LMAASSO.
Laugh my ass off, yeah, definitely. So yeah, Wreckfest is a fantastic game. And actually what I might do, once we get this system built, just for the shits and giggles, I'm going to install Steam on it and actually see if I can play Wreckfest on this system on the server without getting like 3 frames per second. Now the server actually runs really, really well. There's a rotation of maps, etc. If you've got any specific maps you want added, you're going to have to message Cosmic Space Muffin, because the server is basically in his dungeon basement. Sorry, Kath.
So they could join you on a live stream within that game?
Yeah, we will be, hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be doing some live streams actually of the Wreckfest crew all racing on there, so you can come along. I wonder if we could do online gambling. No, that's probably a bad idea. Sorry, YouTube, please don't demonetize me.
Flash.
Flash ass. Good one. Oh dear. Yeah, Wreckfest is a really, really good laugh, especially when you get unbelievable. I've actually seen that YouTube suggestion the stream's current bitrate is higher than the recommended bit rates. Ha! Screw you, YouTube. Is that a bad thing though? I'm not too sure if that's a bad thing. Is that a bad thing?
That might be why your mic's sliding.
Yeah, it is making my mic. Still haven't dropped a single frame. This is awesome. Loving it. Although CPU is at 20%, so that's probably not so good. Captain Meets Adventure says only a real man drinks ass. Gary says Twitch streamers have gambling for iRacing. That's interesting. Oh, and yeah, the server is now water cooled as well. It's running an old FX 8350, I think it was. So it doesn't really need to be a particularly powerful machine to actually run the server, but it is running it very, very well. No lag, no issues there. So yeah, if you want to join us, please feel free to do so. Can't guarantee exactly when we're going to be on, but yeah, just drop in. There is bot cars in there as well, so you can race against bots if you're feeling that way inclined. And that's, yeah, it's just generally really good fun. And Wreckfest is a very easy game to play, but a very difficult game to master. I think if I was to sum it up, it's one of those games that you can jump in and you can get around the track. It's pretty simple, but to actually master the cornering, the curves, the setups for sand or tarmac or demolition in a American camper style truck is just ridiculous fun. It really, really is. So
what's the aim, to demolish the car?
The aim is to demolish other people's cars in the demolition derby.
So it wouldn't be suitable for me.
Or beat other cars in a race.
Demolish my own, I'd be alright.
Yeah, yeah, it wouldn't be any good for you. Matthew Day says, what's the difference between Wreckfest Steam Key and Season Pass Steam Key? Don't know, is the honest answer. You should be okay with the Season Pass Steam Key, I believe. Yep, the server is on 24/7, so it doesn't matter which part of the hemisphere you're on. You can get involved. The Trojan says, best fun since Mario Kart on N64. It is generally hilarious. So what we'll have in our Discord server, if you want to join chat whilst you're on the game, there is a dedicated room for game chat. So if you want to chat to other people while you're gaming, you can do, or you can just go on there and do whatever. It's great fun. And Digital Demonic Davros, love that name. That is a great name. $2 Australian, I think that is. Amazon Australia has 500 gig NVMe, around $75 bargain at the moment. That is a bargain, because I think, what's the exchange rate? US dollars, Australian dollars to pounds. I think it's like 2 for 1 almost. So that is particularly good. Chloe Grice says, just got my first liquid cooler. Awesome. I actually do want to get one of those cheapo AliExpress water cooling kits where you get all the fixings and the cables, the pipes and all that, and you put it all together yourself. I really, really want to try one. But I'm really scared of ordering anything from AliExpress these days. I really am. But if you guys would like to see that, then certainly we'll try and make that happen. The Encore says 1050 Ti or RX 6300. Well, the RX 6300 isn't out yet, so it's difficult to say how that's going to perform. I would imagine it's probably going to be very similar to the 1050 Ti. So it's going to come down to what is available. James Miscellaneous says you can call him 3D. Even his nickname is cool. Yeah, Digital Demonic Davros that's great. That is genuinely a great name. I do like that a lot. Biohazard says same. The cheapest liquid cooler I bought was the Deepcool Gamax. Can't see the rest. Oh, that is it. Wes Play says the difference between the 3600 and the 3600X. Not a great deal. The 3600X is essentially an overclocked version of the 3600. I'm not too sure if it's on the same TDP actually. It could well be. It might not be. I'm not too sure. It's very little. You could easily overclock a standard 3600 to the 3600X speeds and save yourself some money. Although, if they're the same price, then go with the 3600X. Makes sense. Ah, yeah. Cosmic Space Muffin says one Australian dollar is 0.56 UK pence. So yeah, 2 for 1. 56p. Well, technically it's 60-40, isn't it? It's closer to 60-40. MKT Originals, when stroke if do you think the GPU market price is going to drop? I did say it earlier, I think it's going to be kind of late spring into summer. The one thing which could change the whole thing altogether is Bitcoin crashing. If Bitcoin crashes...
We're not saying it will.
Yeah, I'm not saying it will, so don't take your money out. Don't cause a massive ripple effect where everyone just ditches Bitcoin. I don't think they will. But if something happens in the Bitcoin marketplace across all of them, so whether it's Dogecoin, Ethereum, whatever it may be, whichever market or place you're in, whichever crypto you're in, some of them are going to crash at some point or other. I think that is a given. Generally, from what we've seen already, they do recover. But normally, in the crash period, people sell graphics cards like they're basically hot potatoes and they just don't want to hold on to them. So that could be one reason why we get a change in that. So if there's a dramatic change in Bitcoin, then that could happen. Other than that, it's down to basically shipping and inventory. If you live in certain countries where the cards are actually made, you can buy them all day long. Literally, you can buy them all day long. But you can't get them out of the country due to either tariffs or shipping. So that is where a lot of the problem lies, because it's so damn expensive. The Encore says, I think BTC is a bubble too. It definitely is. Everyone said it. And because we're getting to the point now where it's becoming increasingly more difficult to mine coins, and the amount of compute power it's taking to mine those last few remaining coins, well, I say few, it's hundreds of thousands, but the complexity needed to mine that coin is way, 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 way more difficult than it was at the very beginning, when you could basically mine a coin every couple of days, whereas now you probably get a whole coin once a week if you're lucky as a group. So yeah, it is becoming extremely difficult to actually mine the coins. And as it gets harder and harder, people are going to want to put more and more power into it. If at that point the Bitcoin starts dropping and then the actual cost to mine them rises and surpasses what it's worth, that's when people will get cold feet and say, right, I've invested way too much money in these graphics cards, sell them. As soon as you start seeing that, that is what will kill the market, and everyone will be like, that'll be the kind of the SOS, like the Titanic saying abandon ship. Everyone will get rid of cards, and the people that have got warehouses full of cards for mining, if they haven't generated enough profit to kind of go between one peak to the next, they'll get out of the market as well. And then you'll just see hundreds and hundreds of mining cards, much like we did about a year ago on eBay. There was a couple of companies in the UK selling RX 480s and 580s for kind of like ridiculous money, less than like 50, 30 pounds, that kind of thing. And they were just flooding the market. They were everywhere. But they sold out very quickly, and most of them got returned. So about a month later, you get another batch come in, another batch come in, go back, go in, go out. It was just, yeah, bad times. Quite a few people managed to get them. but won't they just hop to some other cryptocurrency if BTC crashes? But because they're decentralized, everything within Bitcoin is kind of relates to something else, another tangible value. So how can I explain this? It's essentially it's perceivable. Yeah, it's perceivable value. So if the perceivable value of a Bitcoin stands still or starts dropping, that's when people who've invested heavily get really itchy feet, because they've possibly borrowed a ton of money to get these server farms up and running. They've got electricity overheads, they've got management overheads. They've also got the overheads of actually transferring the coins into currency, which is, again, something which people don't really take into account. Some places you can do it for free, but a lot of traders will actually charge you to do that. So that's something else to take into consideration. If you're just a day trader, well, not a day trader, that's the wrong word. If you're just a casual miner and you've got your gaming PC and you're just letting it do a few cycles in the background whilst you're not playing on your computer, totally fine. You've got really very little to lose. Even if the market completely crashes to the ground, you've still got your graphics card, you're still going to use it anyway. You might have to pay a bit on your electricity bill, so you don't have a great deal of invested stuff in it. If you've gone out and bought a £1,500 graphics card, maybe a few £1,500 graphics cards, that is when you will start getting very, very itchy feet when it starts to dip or anything happens in the stock market, or there is a perceived value drop in Bitcoin. And we'll see it. It always happens. If you look at any of the charts, you'll see it goes kind of up, down, up, down, up, 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 down. It happens all the time, but it's just working out when the peaks and troughs are going to be and try and get rid of your investment at the peak and obviously buy into it at the bottom, which, yeah, makes sense. But unless you've got a TARDIS or a DeLorean, it's very, very difficult to work out which one of those is going to be at which time. Personally, like I said, I believe that there will be more stock in the market in general, June, July, August. Whether or not that will coincide with Bitcoin taking a tumble, could do. If the banks or the governments decide they want to start taking some regulation on it, that could have a massive knock-on effect. There is kind of rumblings in the background that some banks kind of want to get on board with Bitcoin and use it, but they do want to have it regulated in some way, so that could have a negative effect. It really is a gamble, a massive gamble. Sorry, I did witter on a bit there. MTK Originals, would you consider buying those mined cards? Generally, I would. I think generally I would. I would buy a mined card as long as it was sensible money. If it was like RRP or something, I would tend to shove it. So back to the 3400G and the 1030. I've got to be honest with you, I'm really not sure how close it's going to be comparatively. We're looking at, obviously with the 3400G, we're looking at, what's that, 12 nanometer, 14 nanometer process. So it does have that going against it. What it does have going for it is a slightly higher frequency. I think it's like 3.7 stock against 3.6 on the 3100. But the 3100 does have that reduced fabrication, so down to 7 nanometers. Also, importantly, I think it's like triple the size cache.
Another drink?
Yes, please, yeah.
Tea or
yes,
beer?
please, yeah. I'll go on another beer. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the level 3 cache on the Ryzen 3 3100 is considerably larger. I think it's surely 3 times the size. So that is going to have an impact on a lot of processes, including gaming. So for a gaming aspect, it's a really tricky one. If graphics cards were to magically become available at reasonable prices in a month's time, then I think I would be looking at this completely differently. I would probably go with... Actually, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, let's say, for instance, at the end of this month... No, that's too short. Actually, no, let's say that. If it is the end of this month, the graphics cards are going to come into stock, I'd go with a 3100 and leave the system as it was until the end of the month. If graphics cards are not anywhere near the horizon, that is when it gets tricky, because the 3400G, that's right, 3400G with the built-in Vega 11 actually takes out a lot of the worry. And obviously at some point you could then just put in a graphics card and you haven't wasted anything. Or potentially you could sell the graphics card, processor, the whole lot, and swap it out for something better. The real investment with a GeForce GT1030, at the moment, it's a reasonably okay-ish bet. If graphics cards suddenly start becoming available at around about the £100–150 mark for maybe a 1050, maybe an RX 560, 570, then suddenly this thing is basically worthless. You'll probably get for about £30 for it if you're lucky. So the GT1030 is going to devalue extremely badly if stock comes in. So that is the consideration. Do you want to buy a brand new GT1030 for around about £80 to £100 and potentially lose almost all that investment? If you're not a gamer, I don't see it as being an issue. If you are a gamer, this card is going to be a limiting factor in a very, very short while. Whereas with the 3400G, integrated graphics, yeah, fine. You can just turn it off and you've not wasted anything because you've not paid drastically over the odds for the CPU. So turning off the graphics is like, okay, it's one of those things. You will also get slightly better performance out of it when you do disable the GPU, because obviously temperatures, it all works on temperatures, electrical stability and all that kind of stuff. And because you're not powering a GPU anymore, only the CPU, you will definitely see a performance bump. It's a really, really tricky situation. I don't think until I actually use both systems and compare what they feel like, the responsiveness, the flexibility, all that kind of stuff, I don't really know 100% which way is best. Or indeed if there is a best. I don't think really. Pricing wise, based on what I paid, I think the 3400G would make a lot more sense. On the retail prices at the moment, I think it would change a lot. Chloe Grice says 3400G is awesome for what it is, especially overclocked. That's the thing, I've not used a 2400G or a 3400G at all, ever. Literally ever. Never used one. So I don't know what to expect. Is the Vega 11 going to do it? For me, the Vega 8 and the 2200G and the 3200G is slightly underwhelming under a lot of circumstances, if I'm completely honest with you. The 2200G I sold in that system this week. It was fine. You can play games on it. CSGO's fine. Wreckfest, didn't try. Stupid of me. Should have tried that. Rocket League was kind of okay with a bit of tweaking. So it's a really, really awkward situation, because again, you don't want to spend a ton of money and then realise that like the one game that you actually do want to play runs like an absolute turd, because then you've basically wasted your money and you're stuck with this stuff and you're like, well, what do I do now? You're really, really stuck. The GT1030 for me is one of those cards which I really wish didn't exist, because it does make the decision so much harder. It's a really good card for things like your older Dell systems, where you can just grab it, plonk it in a system. It takes virtually no power at all. I think it's like a 35 watt TDP or something crazy. It doesn't have any extra power connector or anything like that. And it's tiny. It really is tiny. Tiny little fan on there, which basically makes virtually no noise at all. There's nothing really to it, which really makes me wonder why I paid £80 for it. I still am thinking that this very day. But if the graphics card market does completely dry up, and this is all that's available, this is the difference between having a working system and a not working system. So there is that to it. I don't know. It's almost enough to make me go and buy a Mac. It really is. I am strongly urging towards going down the Macintosh route, which I never thought I'd say. But the M1 chip does seem to have quite a lot of benefits. and you can buy it. Dom thinks the motherboard is overkill for this build. To be honest with you, yes, it is. It is completely overkill. There's a couple of reasons. Well, like I said, I like the fact it's got RGB headers on there. It's got a ton of fan connectors, and also it's got the built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Generally, whenever I sell a PC, almost the first question, regardless of performance, specs, anything, it's like, does it have Bluetooth? Does it have Wi-Fi? Now, you could quite easily say, well, no, it doesn't, but I'll throw in a Wi-Fi adapter, or no, I'll throw in a Bluetooth adapter. For some reason, people get really put off with that, and I don't understand why, because to me, that's a perfectly good situation to be in. But people want it to have built-in. So the difference in price between that board and something like the B450M DS3H, which we used recently, which is about £60–70. Seeing that's about £30 dearer. It saves you having to buy a Wi-Fi card. It saves you having to buy a separate RGB controller. It saves having to buy a Bluetooth adapter. Granted, all three of those you could probably pick up for £20–30, but it's just something else which you don't have to worry about. Another thing as well, potentially to squeeze as much performance out of this as possible, having a decent VRM set and VRM cooling is pretty important. And the B550M essentially is a B450 Tomahawk in disguise. So the VRM is very, very good, runs very well. Hardware Unboxed, I'd think about them. Hardware Unboxed reviewed that board and said it's basically one of the best micro B550 boards on the market. So I kind of agree with them. I love that board. I think it's really good. Yeah, sorry headphone users for the thing. No ass tonight. We've only got the Danish Fine Brew. Although it's probably brewed in the UK. Brewed in the UK under license, I would imagine. Danish Pilsner. Where does it say? Danish Pilsner, brewed in the UK using a Danish recipe and yeast. Okay, that's not too bad. Ingredients: water, malted barley, barley hops, hop, oil. That's it. No other added extras.
It doesn't really matter because you've got that glass to drink whatever it is out of.
That's quite good. Regardless, anyway, everything tastes better with RGB, so cheers everybody.
Thank you, Bob.
And thanks, Bob. That's really nice. Sorry, I've just saw one of those messages. Yeah. RGB at 50 frames per second. Oh, yes. Beer. Helping make frame rates look better since the 1800s.
They think you've had loads to see on Mac. Hey, Daisy.
Lee says tastes better with RGB. Laugh my ass off. It certainly does. Okay, so yeah, I'm still very, very much undecided what to do. The only things I'm 100% on are the power supply and the drive and the case. The motherboard, the CPU, graphics card and cooler, possibly even the fans, I'm really not sure. I think what I might do actually for the YouTubers or people that watch on YouTube, I'm going to stick a poll out tomorrow once I've worked out some of the options, and I think probably the best thing to do is I'll let you guys vote, and then depending on the outcome of the poll, that is what I will build in the stream on Tuesday or Wednesday. How's that sound? Sound reasonable? So you tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Well, it depends if you haven't got the parts.
Kind of. Well, I've got the parts, so I'll only put options of the parts I've actually got, because otherwise that's going to make things particularly tricky.
What's the budget on both these comparisons?
The budget on both the comparisons, I think we said it was 430-ish if we go with the 3400G. If we go with the graphics card and the 3100, I think it works out about 470-ish, I think. Maybe you'd have to rewind the video later and see. It's like 4.6 something and 4.2 something. So it's in and around the kind of, yeah, around about 425, let's say for argument's sake, to 465. So it's about £40, £30 difference between the two setups. I think for some titles, such as Fortnite, obviously the GT1030 is going to do much better.
462 rings a bell.
Nvidia cards always do much better in Fortnite. So if Fortnite's your thing, then obviously, yeah, you'd be crazy to go the other route, really. Yeah. Other than Fortnite, I don't think there's any other games which were actually at this level that would heavily favour either card. I think CSGO probably is going to be fine. I think CSGO will probably be more CPU dependent than it would be GPU dependent at the higher frame rates. With textures and stuff on, I don't know, I think that's only got 2 gigs of onboard RAM. The Vega 11 only shares 2 gigs of RAM, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm sure it's 2 gigs. So texture-wise, it's going to be pretty much exactly the same. Memory bandwidth may be a potential issue, although I think this is a 64-bit bus, so you may get a slight benefit from the PCI link in the actual GPU, the APU, rather than GPU. I have to see that. Was it 128 or was it a 64-bit bus? They probably don't even say it. Yeah, memory bus is 64-bit. So in theory, you should have a memory bandwidth bottleneck in this more so. But yeah, if Fortnite's your thing, this is going to be the way to go, I guess. So let's take a few of your questions and then we'll call it a day. See what people are saying. Beer has helped people since the time it was invented, getting laid, making people interesting, pretty, etc. It's all good. Okay.
So when he pays me all those compliments,
yeah,
is that why? Because he's very drunk.
ClickTech Kev says, and makes them buy stupid things. Yeah, we've all been there. The Encore says, you're going to floss 1030 degrees? No. Ugly Bob says, nah, although I typed co-link instead of Q-link.
I would be impressed if you could hang a co-link off it.
Hang a co-link off it.
It.
Cosmic Space Muffin says, a 5700 XT works just fine in Fortnite. Yeah, I would imagine it would. Nick Barnes says, as APUs scarce, would be good to compare systems playing Fortnite. I know there's a lot of people out there that have done comparison videos on YouTube between the 1030 and the Vega 11. And I've got to be honest with you, I've watched probably 5 or 6 different videos with different frame rate numbers and frames per second and frame times and all that kind of stuff. But even watching those videos, you still don't actually get a feel for how the game plays. Because normally those videos are just showing the actual footage and the frame times to probably a rock track or something. And it doesn't tell me what I actually need to know. Which is, regardless of the frame times and frame rates, is it enjoyable? Is it playable? Is it a good thing? So hopefully that is what I'm going to answer. When we've done this build, it's going to be very easy for me to just swap out the CPU and the GPU, put in the APU, and do a direct comparison and actually feel what it's like. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but to me, I think that makes more difference. I'd rather a game feels good or smooth to play than getting great frame rates. Does that make sense? It should do. It kind of does to me. Because there's nothing worse than having 100 frames per second, but the game feeling like it's kind of dragging or lagging. Even if it isn't, sometimes on a system, you just get that feeling. You're looking at it thinking, hang on, I got good frame rates, the frame times seem to be good, I don't appear to have any latency issues, so what the hell's happening? So yeah, so that is a consideration which I think a lot of people kind of remove from the whole buying process. So you assemble your parts, you got your price, you watch your YouTube review videos, and you look at the graphs and it's like, oh yeah, that one got higher. And mostly they're talking about average frame rates. So it's quite easy to get a decent average frame rate, even if you've got some really low dips, because you'll still make them up if you run the test long enough. So what I want to find out is, I'll probably test maybe 5 or 6, maybe 10 games tops. So obviously going to be Fortnite, Wreckfest, CSGO, Rocket League, clearly. What else do I play? Not a lot else. Far Cry, New Dawn, definitely going to try that. Fallout might be a good one. That one's on a bit of a periphery these days, but maybe worth trying. What else would be? Cyberpunk 2077. Don't think that'll run. 2 Point Hospital, possibly, that'll be okay.
Beautiful Katamari.
Beautiful Katamari, that might be a good one, because that's actually quite a taxing game for the GPU.
Graphical, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, let me know some of the other games and I'll see what other ones I can do. Please do Doom 2016. I don't know if I've got that. I might have it actually. Yes, I think I have got Doom 2016. Okay. I might try Battlefield 5.
You're just basically listing all the games you have, aren't you?
Yeah, I am listing the games that I've got.
Yeah, I've got 10.
Oh! Just for Skystalker, because I know he's going to ask. Flight Sim 2020. Definitely going to try that one. And actually, I would imagine the Vega 11 would do better in that, because I think it does seem to have a slight bias towards AMD architecture. So that'd be an interesting one. The Alarming Alarmist says, hello Mike. Hello. Doma says, yeah, and Flight Sim, obviously. Just for the memes, can you try Terraria? Okay. Yes, both DirectX 12, Vulkan, and OpenGL, as those do affect performance. That is very true. Ugly Bob says, what videos you got coming up next week? Apart from the live stream build. Well, I think I've got about 9 videos. No, 7 videos in the pipeline ready to go. I honestly can't remember what they are. Do you remember what they are, Kath? I've got no idea.
Sorry.
What videos have we got coming up next week? Is the RTX one gone out yet?
No.
So next week we've got... Actually, I can tell you because
Roughly.
I've got a bloody...
You've got a computer.
I have an actual computer here.
Yeah, I think the Zotac might be the first one.
I think Monday's one is going to be very hated. I think you guys are going to hate me on Monday.
But it's not our fault.
It's not my fault. I'm just doing what I was asked.
We're in the same boat as them.
So, yeah. Oh, actually, there is one coming up which is so obviously lame and like ridiculous. At least it was to me, but it's something that people have asked for, and I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Because it got to the point where I wanted to actually do this thing. I was like, oh shit, I've forgotten how to do it. And I had to kind of like mentally jog myself. So yeah, there's a very, very, it's basically like a YouTube secret, which some people probably know, so it's not very much of a secret. But if you didn't know it existed, you'd be like, oh wow, cool, didn't realise that. That's pretty useful. So that's coming out. I'm not going to say what it is. I've also got a video coming up on how to debloat the MSI Red Dragon Center. So for those of you that are MSI users and you want to debloat the shit out of that software without actually removing its functionality at its core, such as the fan speeds and Mystic Light, you want to get rid of all the other crap, then there's a great video coming up on that, which basically follows on from the kind of weird icon thing. I should have done it all in one really, but it was getting a bit long, so I decided not to. Got the Snowman 92mm dual cooler. Finally got that one done. Thanks again to Bob for sending us that one. Yeah, that one. Well, I'll let you see what you think of it. Yes, Kath.
They want to know which one's on Friday to get their jokes ready.
Which one's on Friday? Oh, hang on.
Bad Joke Friday.
Badge out Friday. I'm going to have to see. So if we go right back.
Explain.
So I've got... Right, so we've got the Zotac RTX 3060 Ti. We've got the Logitech Z50, the Logitech Z533 2.1 speaker set. We've also got the Thermaltake Divider 300 TG, which is actually, that one is going to be quite literally divisive, I think.
Split personality.
Yeah. We've also got the Gigabyte B450M BIOS walkthrough. Don't watch that, it's boring. We've actually got a really good one for a lightweight exercise bike, which Lord knows I need. It's actually literally there.
Lord knows you needed to refill 3 times.
The other exercise bike was a little bit on the big side, and it was getting a bit annoying. So Home Fitness Code actually sent us a new exercise bike, and actually I really like it. It's got a slightly unusual seating arrangement. It's very nice.
You can balance co-links on.
Yeah, and you can balance Tecware cases on it as it is at the moment. So that's coming out. So exercise bike. Also, we actually got a new chair sent to us, which I've actually been very lazy because literally it is just there. It is a really comfy chair. I'm actually regretting using this one at the moment. So we got a new chair come through, which is super, super comfortable. So that is coming out as well. In fact, actually, it's a little bit too comfortable, which has made me a bit lazy. But that's coming out. That's actually a very cheap orthopedic chair with lumbar support and all that, but it doesn't look like a gamer's chair. It looks like a normal kind of a sensible chair that you'd actually have in your house if you weren't a teenager. Yeah, and then we've got the Snowman 92mm cooler, which Bob sent us, which, yeah, mixed opinions on that one. I'll be interested to see what you lot think about that, actually. Debloat in MSI Red Dragon Center. There's also the Tecware Nexus M review, the Intenso SSD review. There'll be the build coming through. We've also got Arctic's Bionics RGB fans to do.
Is there an Intel thing on the 26th?
Don't know. There might be. There might be an Intel thing on it. If there is an Intel release on the 26th, then we'll probably do a live stream on that. What else we got down here?
Dutch Jana hates.
Oh, I got the had. I also got the Vitro V5 cooler, which I need to do the installation review on. That's actually going into my editing machine, so it better be good. Otherwise, I will cry because I am going to be replacing the. I did have the Noctua in there, the D15, but that was too big. And it was annoying me every time I take the graphics card out to change something. So I swapped that out for the Noctua NH12. And then I decided that I didn't like beige anymore. So then put in the Gelid Phantom Black, which is currently in there. And I'm going to wonder and see if this is going to do any good against those.
Can you do a quick
I don't think it will.
lifty-uppy of the chair? Because I don't like gamer chairs, and I suppose more of an office chair.
Yeah, hang on. Where's my doodah camera? There we go.
Not me.
Shh. Is that working? Nope. Let's try that again. What the hell? I was using the wrong camera. God damn it!
Which one? Not me.
No. Right. Hold the line cooler. Onboard webcam. If I get rid of that. Wait, there we go. There's the other webcam.
Not me.
Science, yo. There we go. So
It hasn't got RGB in it.
it hasn't got RGB. That's just
PC
the
behind.
lights, PC behind. So it's actually it's a really nice chair. Let me just move that out of the way. So one of the nice features I like about this is, well, A, it's got the mesh back, which I appreciate a great deal because it keeps you nice and cool when you're sat there for ages. But it's got this lumbar support at the back. You can actually slide that up and down to adjust it to your back. It's just a really nice, comfy chair.
Do that again.
What's that?
The lumbar support up and down thing.
What's that? Yeah, that'll be mean. So anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, it's got that back support which you can move. It's got a nice finish to it as well.
Can you overclock it?
It doesn't like overclocking. I overclocked and I fell off. Yeah, it's nice. is the fabric on the top isn't an absolute magnet for cat hairs either. You can see there's a few on there, but I don't
actually put any on there yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen. They probably did get on there at some point, but yeah, it's pretty good. And it's got fixed arms as well, which I think actually looks and feels a lot nicer than having wobbly arms all over the place.
Are you going to do a BIOS flash on it?
I will be doing a BIOS flash and also a BIOS walkthrough on it.
Or a sit through.
I'll do a sit through, yeah. Go on, focus, but yeah, it's a nice chair. And it isn't as expensive as it looks. Ignore the cleaning equipment. We never use it.
Oh god, yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that. So yeah, hopefully you'll like the review on that one. It is genuinely a nice chair, and that is the reason why I've left it over there, because I was editing on it and I've been sat there for ages. And it's like, oh, this is fine. Whereas the chair that I'm actually on at the moment is actually really beginning to give me like some sort of prostate exam. It really.
Show you it 'cause you borrowed it.
Yeah, I can't show it because it's basically it's like a tattooist chair. Oh god, not good. Yeah, so it's yeah, nice chair that's coming up in review. Also, we've got another one of those booster starters. So it's probably the wrong time of year for it, but one of the companies reached out to us after seeing our Maypole car booster video for jump starting cars, and we've got one coming which has got a built-in air compressor, an emergency light, a charger, and a massive battery in there, so it can actually start up to, they say I think it was 8-litre car or a 6-litre diesel. So that thing has got some serious kahunas. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like, because that does sound rather impressive. An 8-litre petrol vehicle. That takes some cranking, it really does. So yeah, be interested to see what that's like. So that'll be coming up soon. We've got stuff from Aerocool, hopefully coming very shortly. There was something else as well, I can't think what it was.
Does it do toast?
It probably doesn't do toast. I don't think so. There was something else.
Got another chair.
Another chair?
Maybe, yeah. Like a sort of gaming office chair, not too big like this.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was another chair on the horizon.
Aerocool stuff.
There might be some networking stuff as well. I am still considering putting a network cabinet into the living room somewhere, and then trying to disguise it, which is going to be hard freaking work. So we might do that.
The hole you did under the
yeah,
buffet.
I do need to rewire the house really, but the sun's coming, summer's coming, so we never know. We might actually do that. We probably won't. Let's see, where are we live?
Sunny Side Up says, do you do this from your home or do you have a PC repair shop retail?
I don't have a PC repair shop and I don't have a retail outlet. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I worked in a shop a long time ago. I was a manager of a retail store, computer store for a while. Then I went on to become a technician in that same store, like a roving one out and about. And then I started doing technical stuff for TV industry. And I do miss the retail side of it, but I think now doing repairs and sales and stuff, there's such a limited kind of income from it. I wouldn't mind working for somebody doing it, but I don't think I would like to do it as a standalone business. I think it's just too cutthroat these days. There's no margin in the parts really. Labor, people don't always want to pay for, so it's just, as much as I would love to do it, I wouldn't be able to do it to kind of keep myself afloat, sort of thing.
They say you look like that now.
Oh God, who's that?
Dana White.
Oh crap. Gets worse than that. No. So PC repair shop. I did want to actually.
Sunny Side North.
Yeah.
Sunny Side Up.
I would like to be able to do PC repairs, but do them for free. So when this whole thing is done and dusted with it, it'd be really nice to actually have people in the local area, or maybe just send their PC. So if you've got a PC which doesn't work, just send it to me and I'll try and fix it. I think that'd be quite interesting content. and probably beneficial to somebody as well.
We have put it out on Facebook before and nobody
Yeah.
replied. Sunny Side Up is from Somerset, Bath.
All right, sunny side up. I'm from Somerset in Bath, and there aren't actually that many decent PC shops around my area compared to, say, up north or London, obviously. That is the trouble.
We've got Smart Computers.
Yeah, Smart Computers is in the UK area. Smart Computers we've got in our Bristol area. They've got a couple of shops, I think, or at least they did, but they do seem to be a little bit overpriced, at least comparatively with like online, which is a shame because they're quite local to us, and I would quite like to spend my money there. They do a lot of Rio Toro stuff and that kind of thing, so I've kind of compared their prices and thought, as much as I want to support local businesses, they're not that local, and I don't really want to pay that much of an overhead. But you never know, it might turn around. Vanilla Mike, if you've got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Biohazard says, imagine fixing a PC with dodgy content on it. I've been there. I have been there. Welly Bob says, night people, stay safe. Thank you, Welly Bob. Rick says, I paid $85 for my GT1030 off Amazon a few months back. That is not bad. Chloe Grice says, couldn't work in retail environment, too many people with too many questions. I actually loved it. Working in a PC shop, when people come in and actually ask you questions, it's brilliant because you can actually give them honest answers and you don't have to be kind of competing. Like on the internet, if you go into a forum or a chat room or anything, and someone comes in and says, which CPU is best? You can guarantee for every person in there, they'll have their own independent opinion. Whereas if you're in a retail shop and you're there basically talking directly to a customer, it's great because you can tell them your opinion and give them the prices and stuff, and you don't have people chipping in going, well, no, you ought to do this, you ought to do that, which actually is good in some cases, but in a lot of cases, if you're a professional in a professional environment and you're actually selling stuff, the last thing you want is someone come along and say, well, yeah, have you tried this, or how about this? And you're like, oh god.
You were in like a little independent shop. You weren't.
It was an independent shop I worked in, so we had no bias towards any particular company or any affiliations. It's basically best value for money or best performance or whatever. If the customer wanted it, we would tell them the exact thing, and we didn't care. If it's something we didn't even have in stock, we'd tell them anyway, because we had a pretty good reputation for just being very knowledgeable. Anyway, what time is it? Right, it's coming up to 11 o'clock now, so we probably should wrap this up. Now, we will be doing a chat in the Discord, so if you want to chat to us after the stream, which the chat does get a little bit weird at times, let's be honest. So we do talk about all sorts of things, not just PC stuff, talk about all sorts of politics, you name it, anything which is topical, we will chat about, or even just talk about weather, health, whatever. If you're bored, lonely, just want someone to chat with or hang out with, or just see me putting all this crap away, then you're more than welcome to join us. The thing we do ask, if you're going to join, make sure you do have a working and unmuted microphone. You can't just hang out there and listen to the conversation, because it's all about participation. But certainly you can go to the Discord and just hang out in there if you want to, and do text chat and that kind of stuff. But if you do want to have a chat to us after the stream, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure your mic works, and you're welcome to join and have a chat. So yeah, I think that is James. I would say that in the style of Vanilla Ice, but I will get demonetized, so I better not do that. I think that is, yes, I think that's going to be it. So thanks a lot, all of you, for joining on the live stream. Really appreciate it. For the super chats, awesome. Well done to Bob. It was Bob, wasn't it? Not Bob. Paul, sorry. Paul, well done on winning the fans. We'll get those sent out to you as fast as Kath can box them. So that'll probably go out on Monday, and it'll be cheapskate posts, so probably get them by Wednesday if you're lucky. But well done, and thanks to Bob for kind of sponsoring that giveaway. Awesome. Oh yeah, also we got the other Oh yeah, we've also got a mouse which Bob sent us as well, which is a cool mouse which has actually got an LCD display which you can change pictures on. I forgot we got that coming as well, so that'll be coming out in review for anyone who's I've never seen one before, so it's really unusual. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to join us for a quick chat after the stream, you're very welcome to do so. But for those of you that will be leaving us now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, click on that, because it does make a massive difference. And comment after the stream. Go down to the thing when it's finished doing whatever it does. Just put in a comment. Doesn't have to be anything particularly relevant. Just stick a comment on there. You'll probably get a like or a heart on it, and you might even get a reply if you're lucky. But it does really help the algorithm. Comment on all the videos you possibly can, because it really does help. So yes, as Ugly Bob says, take care and remember to misbehave responsibly, or irresponsibility if you want to. So yeah, thanks for the super chats, all that kind of good stuff, and yeah, we'll see you on. Oh, what's that? That's new. We'll see you in the video on Monday, or we'll see you in the live chat in a couple of minutes. So I'll be Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.